All right, so it's May 11th at approximately 9 a.m. Just wanted to give you all an update on what the plans are for the fall next year before you get going too much into deciding whether or not you want to return to the virtual school or if you want to look at an alternative. But this is what we're going to do. Taking a look at this calendar, what we're going to do is break each semester into 3 marking periods that are 6 weeks long for each marking period. Instead of giving you all 7 courses at once, we're going to give you 2 courses in each marking period. And I know 2, 2, and 2 doesn't equal 7, but I'm going to explain that here in a minute. So taking a look at this, if you look at the beginning of the school year, starts on September 5th. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks for the first marking period. It will end on October 13th, Friday the 13th. So 6 weeks, and I'm going to give you 2 classes to start. And there's a little calendar that I have set up of how each of you, but depending on what grade you're in, what classes you'll take in each marking period. And in the second marking period, you'll see October 16th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this splits up into kind of a 6 here, where it'll end on November 28th, the second marking period, and then the third marking period runs into December and January, ending on January 19th. But there's 6 weeks in each, and at the end of each week, we'll have approximately gained about 17 to 20%, depending on the week and how many days there are. 17% is a good estimate because if you take 100% of that course and divide it by 6 weeks, you've got approximately 17% that you've got to complete each time. So you're only doing 2 classes. So this marking period might be you only have English and let's say an elective like art. Those are the only 2 classes you're completing in those 6 weeks. Then you might have like math and let's say another elective, your language, math and a language in this second marking period. And then let's say in the third marking period you have, let's say, science and social studies. That's what you complete in this third marking period. Now the 7th class is going to be a seminar, and everyone's going to take a seminar unless you're a high schooler that has a specific calendar, a specific schedule that you need to complete. But most of you will have a seminar, and the seminar will be a little bit easier class. It'll be along the lines of a partnership. That'll be the opportunity for you to keep two-way communication with the teacher. And also do some goal setting things and talk about your progress and those things. But seminar will be kind of like a study hall in a comparison to a traditional school setting. So 3 marking periods, 1, the green part, 2, the purple part, 3, the yellow part here. In the first semester and the same thing in the second semester, which I'll scroll down and show you that here in a second. The nice thing about that is the vast majority of you, especially the ones that are more successful, complete 1 class at a time. So if that's what you want to do, you just complete 1 class in 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then the next class in 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then the next class in 1, 2, 3 weeks, and you just complete a class every 3 weeks. Or you can work on both of them in the 6-week period, and you just complete those 2 classes in that 6-week period, however you want to do. But we are going to make it hard dates where if you get 2 classes, those 2 classes are due on the 13th, and it's going to go on your report card, and we're going to send a report card home at the end of that marking period. So that way, you only have 2 classes at a time. There's a little bit more accountability. There's not just that one hard date where we give you all the stuff, all 7 of your classes on September 5th, and it's not due till January 19th. Those of you that are diligent and hardworking get it all done. But the few of you that are taking it on October 5th, you might work hard for a couple of weeks, and then you're only logging in periodically, and then all of a sudden it gets to the point where January rolls around, and you're scrambling trying to get things done, all 7 courses, and end up failing a few. So in order to avoid that, we're going to do this. So just to give you an idea of how that looks a little bit too, in another view, and this is second semester here, you've got the 4th marking period in blue here, the 5th marking period in black, and the 6th or last marking period in this brownish color. And here's the actual dates of how that breaks down. Fall semester, 3 marking periods. Marking period 1 is September 5th to October 13th. It's 29 days long, and you have 2 classes that you'll be completing in that time frame. Fall marking period 3, October 16th to November 28th. That's also 29 days, 2 classes you'll be completing in that time frame. Fall marking period 3, December 4th through January 19th. That's approximately 30 days, plus you have the holiday time that you can work on it. 2 classes to complete in that time frame. Then you look at spring, the 3 marking periods there. You have a 29-day marking period 4, 29-day marking period 5, and the last one happens to be really long, 34-day marking period 6, so you have a little bit more time there to complete things, and it's nice because it's kind of along the lines of this one here where you have the holiday to work on it. But marking period 1, 2, and 3, you complete 2, 2, and 2. That's 6 classes. Like I said, you'll have a seminar during that time frame as well you'll be completing. Seminar will run all semester long, so it'll run from the beginning, September 5th, all the way to January 19th. It'll always be open. Same thing over here. You'll have a second semester seminar that'll run from January 22nd all the way to June 8th. So you have a seminar that runs with these 6 classes as well. It's a really neat setup. I like it a lot. I think it's going to be much more successful for the vast majority of you next year. So here's an idea of what we're thinking. If you take a look at this, and I'll scroll down to the high schoolers since we have more high schoolers than middle schoolers. Let's take a look at, let's say if you're, well, none of you will be 9th grade next year. Well, some of you will be 9th grade next year. Let's take a look at a 10th grader. If this was your schedule for marking period 1, 2, and 3, your first marking period, when you first arrive, you'll finish English and whatever elective you choose. So those will be the 2 classes that you complete in that first 6-week period. And then you'll have seminar that you'll be doing on top of that, but seminar won't be anywhere near as intense as these 2. Your second semester will have, or second marking period, sorry, will have geometry and an elective, and then your last marking period will have biology and history. And if you look at each one of these, we have science and social studies running together. Chemistry, physics, and social studies. We always have science and social studies running together because those are our most successfully completed classes. Our math and our English are our least successfully completed classes, so that's why we're running those with an elective. So if you've got English in a partnership, you're doing English and let's say horsemanship. If you've got geometry or math in a partnership, you'd have like math and let's say Studio 23. So it's going to make life a lot easier to complete them in these time frames. Plus, you can't procrastinate to the end of the semester. You have to get it done in your 6-week time frame. And the seminar is going to help you a lot because we're going to be doing a lot of different things that are tied to careers and maybe some resume writing and things like that to get you prepared for after high school. So this is an unbelievable opportunity. No other school is doing this. We're going to make sure that this is successful by keeping in contact with you and working with you and making sure you understand all of this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to send this out also with a survey to get an idea of what happened here. Send it out with a survey to get an idea of what it is that you feel, what do you think about this. Since many of you already do this, you decided to do it on your own, I think it's great that we just kind of have everybody jump on board with doing this as well. So if you have any questions or comments, please contact me. But in the meantime, this is how we're going to roll things out next year. 2017-18 full year monthly school calendar. So I know some of you are going to say, well, what if I get done early and want to start my next marking period? We haven't discussed that yet. If we give you your first marking period classes on September 5th and they're due on October 13th, if you wanted to get a head start on your next marking period classes, can you? I don't foresee a problem with that. But we would have to make sure that you are completed. Let's say you finish all your classes on September 29th. Your first 2 classes are done here, and you want to start your next marking period. We're not going to hold you back. We're not going to keep you from doing that. We'll find a way to get them opened up and get you started, but we need to be notified of that, and we'll talk more about that when the time comes. But, you know, because some of you are already this year, we're in our second week of May, and some of you are going to be done at the end of this week or next week, and you're done 3-4 weeks early, which is great. But that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day. Tomorrow's Friday. We're going on our field trip to the USS Edson. I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. So looking forward to that. For the rest of you, have a great weekend.